Can Tottenham ever dominate this league? Let's find out. No, we are not switching up things to change up to Tottenham and others, but this tactic is called the main Dominator version 1.1, and the reason I bring Tottenham into the equation is because the creator of this F4F sense used Tottenham, brought them to the top of the league, had some fantastic results with over 100 goals for, fewer than 40 against, I believe, doing very well, winning the Premier League. However, we are going to try it out with our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League, and then Ipswich Town in the Championship. But as you can see, a fairly standard, somewhat 4-3-3 with a trequartista all the way on the right side. So that'll be interesting to see how that works. But let's check out the Premier League. Well, right off the bat, Liverpool win the league with 83 points, only 74 goals for, so I'm kind of interested why that worked. Tottenham getting over 100, Liverpool only getting 74. I will say Liverpool winning the league is fantastic, but they are down a bit. Usually winning the league is up around 90 points or thereabouts for them, if not higher. But still, you get your first trophy. We'll see what happens in just a minute. Aston Villa in fifth, though, 73 points, not bad there. 63 goals is definitely pretty low, however. Domestic cups for Liverpool out immediately in the EFL Cup third round against Manchester United, and then out in the semifinals of the FA Cup, funny enough, against Tottenham. But you do get to the semifinals, so that's kind of a plus. But Liverpool are almost never satisfied with just one trophy. They pick up their second, the Europa League final against Red Bull Salzburg, 2-0. I won't say they're the most massive set of teams here that they've beaten, but overall, it's still a pretty nice season. So you won the Premier League, you won the Europa League, two massive trophies right there. FA Cup, sure, it would have been nice to get that as well, another big one, but Carabao Cup, third round. That one, it does hurt, but at least it's the least of the four. Squad-wise, look at that sea of green. Goals, 28 for Nunez, Salah with 25, both fantastic numbers right there. Again, if you've got Nunez and Salah firing, you've got a fantastic table positioning. 13 assists for both Luis Diaz and Dominic Szoboszlai. Very well done there, although very low compared to what we normally see, usually like 18 to 20 something. But 7-3-7 for Salah, 7-2-7 for Nunez. It's pretty nice. Aston Villa doing a little bit better in the EFL Cup, getting to the quarters but losing out to Newcastle. But FA Cup third round is where your problems lie, out against Burnley in the replay. But not to be outdone by Liverpool in Europe. Europa Conference League final, 1-0 over Rapid Vienna. Again, I mean, you are beating Fenerbahce and Besiktas, so not bad there. Eintracht Frankfurt, of course. But you pick up your one and only trophy, still not too bad. Fifth place in the Premier League, you've seen better in certain tactics that we've covered already, but fifth place is not too bad when you're scheduled to be around 10th place at the beginning of FM24. So fifth place, the Premier League, yeah, I'll live with it. Winner of the Europa Conference League, fantastic job there. FA Cup, unfortunately, knocked out really early, and then Carabao Cup, you do get to the quarters, but still, Definitely not the sea of green that we saw with Liverpool, but look at that. 30 goals for Ollie Watkins, 21 for Diaby. Fantastic numbers that we're used to seeing generally time and time again. 14 assists, though, for John McGinn. Lucas Digne with 13. Average rating 7.23 for Diaby. Not too bad. Data hub for Liverpool all around looking pretty nice. Again, we've seen, attacking numbers that are just through the roof and topping the Premier League. This one doesn't do it, but look at those dribbles. That is insane. And if we look at Aston Villa, fairly similar, just without the fouls against per game, goals per game. Some of these numbers are a little bit down, but dribbles, it's through the roof. Premier League stats, this should definitely be interesting. Liverpool in second place with most goals is 74. Aston Villa with 63, still in fifth. I mean, they are in the top 8 there, so I can't complain too much. Fewer shots against, Liverpool with only 213. Aston Villa with 303 in fifth. Most possession not there. Dribbles made, Liverpool topping the list, 836. Aston Villa's second. Most tackles won, not there. Pass completion, not there. Most shots for, of course, Liverpool in third. Aston Villa in seventh. And overall, it's pretty nice the way they ended up. I just wish Aston Villa could have picked it up a little bit more. But now, changing our sights to Ipswich Town. Yeah, 9th place, not the greatest. 64 goals, 69 points. You definitely could have picked this up a little bit better. Another win, you could have gotten into, 8th and then continued from there. If you took control of this, I think you could probably do a little bit better yourself. Raised your bar a little bit, maybe got to Blackburn in 76 points and gotten into that playoff promotion spot. And then who knows what could have happened. Easily could have gotten promoted. You just have to go through a couple more matches. But, as always, you take control of things yourself, do your own changes. You can change things up quite a bit. Domestic Cups, nothing new. Out in the EFL Cup third round against Chelsea, and then FA Cup fourth round against Chelsea as well. So overall, Championship, not great. Ninth place is not a fantastic spot to finish. Out in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, fairly standard. So this is always an interesting one to take a look at. Only 16 goals for Broadhead. Hurst with only 10. 10 is definitely really low for Hurst. As assist-wise, Leif Davis was 6, and that's the top. That's pretty insane. 703 for Hamada. I don't know him. He's on loan, but 702 for Marcus Harness. Overall, it didn't work very well at all, I'm sorry to say. Championship stats, unfortunately, fewest shots against in second and most dribbles made in second, and that's the only times you're in this list. Although you did spend 710K this transfer window, but yeah, that still didn't get you too far. So with all that said, we move on to the tactic itself. You start out with a sweeper keeper in support, inverted wingback on automatic on the left, a wingback on automatic on the right, and you've got plenty of player instructions to take a look at. Ball playing defenders in the central spots, one in defend, one as a stopper, a ball winning midfielder in defend above them, and then on the midfield line, a box to box midfielder in support next to a CM in support. And then on the attacking side, inside forward in attack on the left, and a trequartista, like I mentioned earlier, in attack on the right. Pressing forward in support up front. Positive mentality, in possession, attacking with his wide. Approach play, pass into space. Focus play down the right. Play out of defense. Passing directness is slightly shorter. Tempo is higher. Low crosses in the final third. Work the ball in the box and run at defense. In transition, counter, distribute quickly, and roll it out. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a standard defensive line, trigger press much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. So how did it work for our three teams? Well, unfortunately, Ipswich Town doing an awful job and sitting in ninth. Again, you could probably do a much better job and raise that table position a little bit, but ninth is not where you want to be seen. Liverpool, however, getting the league title in the Premier League, fantastic for them, but again, lower than what we've seen with other 4-3-3s. 74 goals is not a huge amount. Aston Villa in 5th is pretty nice compared to the 10th where they're supposed to be, but overall, still we've seen better, I think. Something to take a look at, something to try out. If you like the trequartista role, if you like the inverted wingback role, things like that, take a look, see what you can get. Unfortunately, there's no description in the Steam Workshop page that I got this from, but you can do a lot of different things to kind of raise your profile here. But that is it for me, Cephine FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.